Hi, good morning, everyone.
Yeah, Ashish, good morning.
Good morning.
Hey, good morning. Okay, so have you all practiced something on your own, creating some debug logs in the sense, practicing some debug statements, right? So yesterday's session was very basic. Okay, today we will be looking into variables and data types that uh, we use in Salesforce. Okay. So let's move further. Just waiting for other people to join. Aditi, you have your own org now, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Okay, so we have seen like what is Apex, right? Apex is just a programming language. It is just like syntax, just like Java, and it is used to perform all the business logics or handling uh, any web services call or sending any API requests. Okay, so all such uh, all such sort of programming can be done with the help of Apex. Strongly typed, weakly typed. The difference between the Apex and the JavaScript, main difference, Apex is a strongly typed language, right? We have discussed yesterday. It has means whenever you're writing a program, you have to declare the variable with its data type. That is your, if you're declaring the variable my name, okay, so the string or whether that variable is of type string or it is of type number, integer, or whatever, like date, you have to declare it explicitly. Whereas in JavaScript, which is a weakly typed language, you don't need to declare the variable with string or date or time or whatever numeric values, integers, not like that. Only if you declare where, system will take it. So in JavaScript, there are only 6 or 7 types of variables. Okay, so they don't have separate primitive types. What is a primitive type of data? We will come to that. So in Apex, we are using primitive and non-primitive data types, whereas in JavaScript, we are just using var. Any variable we can declare with the help of var. Or even if you don't use the var, you can just declare it with my var equals to 10. System will take it as numeric value. It will understand it is not a string, because for string you have to declare something within this inverted comma in JavaScript. Okay, we will JavaScript, I am saying, because after Apex we will come to uh, LWC. There you would be needing this JavaScript concepts. Okay, little bit. So let's jump into the variables. Now, what is variable? The name itself says variable, means it can vary. Okay, either you can store some value as fixed value as well, but the name given to any place, any memory location. Okay, whenever you want to store something in the code, okay, you have to declare the variable name and its data type. So how it is, let's log into the org. Okay. Yesterday we have already declared some variables here. These are nothing but your variables. Okay. These are nothing but your variables. Now in variables, there are three things. Now here, if you just want to declare a variable, you need to write something statement like, uh, if it is of string type, you have to declare it like this: string and greetings. Greetings is a variable, let's say. Okay. Greetings is a variable. And in this variable, I don't want to store anything. This sort of variable here, we are just declaring the variable. So this is called as variable declaration. Okay. This is called as variable declaration. Now, if I want to do the assignment, okay, I will be doing declaration and assignment in a single statement. So in that particular case, let's say integer, integer is a variable, age, age is the variable name. Okay, integer is the data type, and age, some numeric value can be taken into this. And in this case, we are doing variable declaration and assignment. Together, we are doing variable declaration and assignment in one single statement. So now any line of code that you're ending with a semicolon becomes a statement. Okay. This is variable declaration and assignment. Only assignment now if I want to do, I will write greetings. So just copy it. Okay. This greetings copy is equal to welcome to Salesforce. Some statement. Okay. Here I'm not writing anything before this greetings. Okay. Why? Because I have already declared it before. If I have already declared it before, anywhere within the line of code, I can use this greetings. Similarly, just by copying it, I'm assigning a value. So whatever value we are assigning to our code, it gets assigned from left to right. It gets assigned from left to right, right? So from here to here, it will get assigned. Okay. So any assignments you will be doing in your code, whatever value you will put in on the right side and the variable name you have to put on the left side, the assignment will go from right to left, right to left. Right value will be stored in the left side of the variable. Okay. So this is your variable assignment. Now let me close this, come back to the yeah, variables assignment we have just now done. What you need to do is all of you are logging in your org. All of you are logged in your org. If you are not logged in, please log in. So you need to take two number and make the multiplication of the number and store it in a different variable, third variable called as result. Let's say you're taking two numbers. So you have to define the number uh, into so, any variable name. Okay, you can take up, it's up to you. And you have to multiply the two number and store the result into a third variable. Now for multiplication, let me give you a hint. You need to make use of star symbol. Okay, not cross. In uh, any variable, A star B will give you result of multiplication. This is the hint that I have given. Now this you only need to do it in the session. Okay, please, so that you will be learning in the session rather than listening to the class. Okay, just I think it should not take more than 4 minutes. It's 11, 8, 11, 8, 12, or just by 11, 16 you should be able to complete it and post the result in the chat. All of you got the question? Take two variables, store two numbers in that, do the multiplication of the two numbers, and show the result in the system.debug statement. Okay, store the result in a variable and show the result in a system.debug statement. Please continue. I'll be back in 2 minutes. So, uh, if you're done, please share it in the chat window. You are only sharing it with me. Select, are you able to see the option to select on the new chat? You will be able to see, okay, on the top, and you just need to select my name. Yeah, Vinesh, you have shared the screenshot, but I would also need your code. Just wanted to see the code that you have written. Divya has shared the code. Vinesh, yeah, okay, okay. Yeah, it is fine, Vinesh. Yeah. Others quickly, would you share your code? If you're facing any issue, you can let me know.
For me, it's showing chat disabled.
Yeah, you have to select on the top, you will be seeing a blue color button. Okay, you need to click on that blue color button. You will select me in, and then you will be able to paste.
Okay, okay.
Is it visible now?
Yeah, visible.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Now, what I'm seeing is some of you, when you are declaring the variables, you need to declare the variable as a meaningful name. Okay, the name of the variable should be something meaningful. So if we are writing, uh, if we, yeah, here is the solution. So if we are declaring some number, numeric value, so if you just mention A or B for a smaller piece of code, that is perfect. That's completely fine. Uh, Even like Vinesh, your code is fine. You have used some books and pens. Okay, number of books or number of pens. So that is also fine. But I think Ramesh and Divya, you both of you code is exactly same. You both have used A and B. Now, why I'm saying this? A and B is it can hold the value. Okay, if you use it, it can hold the value. But whenever you will be writing some piece of code, let's say if you want to store the ID of account, if you need to store the ID of the account in a string variable, let's say string variable account ID. Okay, this gives you a meaningful name. And whenever someone will read your code, they will understand it. Human will understand it. System will anyhow understand, and it will do the operation if you store it in anything. Let's say AID. If I store it into AID, okay, someone. some humans may understand it, some humans might not understand it. But if we give it a name like ACC, ACCID, or account ID, ACCTID, something like this, it is easily readable like it is an account ID. Now, another thing while declaring the variable that we need to do is any variable that we will be declaring, we need to start with a smaller letter. Okay. I might have used somewhere as like capital R. Okay. But in your real time projects, this is the practice that we need to follow. Let's say if the variable name has to be my name, so this will be like my name. Okay. If it is a user ID, it should be like user ID. Mm. And then you need to declare and assign the value to that particular variable. So variable declaration can it can hold numeric value as well. It can have underscore value. Okay. So, but other special characters, I think percentage or something, it's not allowed. So the best practices is to uh, def define a variable in a way like it it should be starting with a smaller case. It should have some meaningful value, meaningful name, so that any value variable we are storing takes its place. Okay, now let's move further. Hope everyone have completed. Yeah. Okay, so yes, first number, last number, second number, and yeah, perfect. So this is the something which makes sense. First number we are storing in a variable, and then we are storing second number, and then we are multiplying the result and displaying the result. Perfect. Yeah, this is the way of doing any sort of variable definition or variable declaration. And here, this we have already seen variable assignment or variable initialization. Like if the variable is just declared on the top, we are just initializing the value later. But it has to be declared somewhere before. Okay, so this is how you have written your code. You have used a variable directly. You have assigned a value as well to the numeric one and numeric A or numeric B, and then you have stored some result variable, used some result variable, and result variable. Then you have multiplied two number and stored it in the result variable. This is how you have all have done, right? So variables coding best practice and comments and operators. Let's come to again here. Before we start with the code, before we write any logic, okay, we need to understand what all type of variables are there. Okay, what should be the data type of the variable, and what value we are going to store in that particular variable. Because if you declare some variable as string at the front, later stage of point in the code, you cannot store an integer value in that particular variable. You will not be able to store the integer value at any particular point of time. But string multiple values can keep changing. If you have, let's say, if you have stored some variable with welcome to Salesforce, right? If I do system.debug here, system.debug, system.debug, and if I print greetings, just copy and paste greetings. I'm printing the greetings. Now, in this case, I'll execute this four lines of code. Okay, let's execute this, execute highlighted, debug only. Okay, it is giving me welcome to Salesforce. Now the same variable I want to modify. This greetings, welcome to Salesforce. This is day 2 of coding. Okay, this variable is changed now. Again, I'll print the statement. Now the second value will be printed, means both the values will be printed, because first we are printing welcome to Salesforce, and then we are printing storing this value, very welcome to Salesforce, this is day 2 of coding, in the greetings. So it has overrided the original value, whatever the value was there in this particular variable, it will override and it will print this new value, and previous value will be uh, removed from that particular variable location. Okay, so I will execute this, execute highlighted. Sorry, I don't need yeah, I need this. I need this as well. Okay. This file line of code. String greetings, we need to declare the variable. This initialization or assignment of the variable. Okay. This initialization, variable initialization. Let's print this 5 lines. Execute. Okay, here is my logs. Click on debug only to see the debug statements. Now both of my statements is getting printed because initially the variable was holding welcome to Salesforce. Later we have modified this particular line. We have made this greetings variable to hold welcome to Salesforce. This is day 2 of coding, and that has gone into this variable. The variable is replaced with the latest value. This is string values or any normal variable where you will be able to uh, do keep on changing the value, but you cannot store a integer value in this. The moment I will try to store an integer value, let's copy this. Okay, if I store, let's say 100 in this 100, so in this case it is not going to give me this 100. It will not show me this 100 value here. Rather it will throw an error. Execute these lines. Okay, what is the error? Illegal assignment from integer to string. Illegal assignment from integer to string. Why it is giving me this error? Because this greetings, I have declared it as string, and strings are only allowed to take some value when it is wrapped in a inverted comma. So here in this particular case, inverted comma is not used. Only the numeric value is used. System is very smart. It will understand if it is not wrapped within an inverted comma, then it is a numeric value. That means an integer value. Okay. So for storing such value in a variable, you need to store it in a integer variable data type. Okay. So the variables should be of integer data type, but in this case it is not the case. So what we can do is we can wrap it within this inverted comma, and now the greetings and the end will only hold 100, and it can be seen here. Debug only. Okay, welcome to Salesforce, welcome to Salesforce. This is day 2 of coding, and the third time we need to convert it into a string by adding a uh, what we say inverted comma. Or we can do another thing. Another way of doing it is string dot value of. Okay, string dot value of. Let's execute it this here. Now, the third variable is also converted from an integer data type to a string data type. In this case, what we have done is string dot value of will convert any value which is of integer data type to a string data type. Okay, this is a method. This is a method to convert integer to string data type. Okay, this is the way we are converting any integer to string data type. Now, this can be 100.02 as well. Then the system will understand it, take it as float value. Okay, decimal value. Let's try to convert this, execute. Here also it is converting it back to this string with the help of, but this particular time it is not integer. Okay, so any numeric value, whether it is having a decimal point or not. But whereas in Salesforce, if I store this in integer value as Salesforce in an integer variable, it will not take. It will even if it will take, it will just show the first three digit. After decimal, it will drop. Okay, so inti integer num1 is equal to 100 100.20, let's say, or 02. Okay, system.debug 100. Sorry, num1, system.debug num1. Okay, let's print this just two lines, execute. Yeah. So it is understanding it now, the data type of this particular case. 100, since we are using a decimal point, system is understanding we are converting some or assigning some decimal value to an integer variable data type. Just previously we have seen this when we were assigning the value of 100 to a greetings variable, it was showing us an error because it system was able to understand this 100 value we cannot assign to the string data type. Similarly, here in this case, it is giving you an error because this is a decimal data type. After decimal point, some values is being stored. So it cannot be stored to uh, a numeric value. So in this particular case, what we need to do is we need to use dot value of integer dot value of. Okay. Now this will work and it will change. It will transform this particular value, which is a decimal value, to a integer value. So integer dot value of method will help us to transform this 100.02 value to an integer value. Okay, and it will store it in this num1, and this num1 will be displayed. So what it will do, what it will do, can you guess the output of this particular case? Can you type in the output? What will it do on the chat? What should be the output of num1? Printing the num1. Just select me and you have to print, you have to answer in the chat. Okay, I see Bashir has joined. Hi, Bashir.
Hi Shish, good morning.
Hi, good morning. How are you?
Fine, you?
Yeah, I'm good. So this is session number two. I hope you have sorry, Lakshmi have connected with you, right?
Yeah, yesterday Lakshmi has connected. I think I have joining. This is mine as a first session, but I think it's do day two. I think.
Yeah, it is day two
Yeah.
actually. So no worries. Yesterday we haven't just seen the basics. You can go through the recordings and okay. And
Okay.
yeah, if you have your own org, right? So you
Yes, I
can,
have developer org. I have. Hmm.
yeah, the same org you can use for this particular practice and all. Yeah.
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 Okay.
Okay. Okay. So I see, yeah, Divya has answered, Ramesh has answered. It's correct. Whenever we transform any decimals, okay, so it will transform the value stored in the decimal to like it will drop those values and it will only store the numeric values. So if we print this, we should see only 100. Execute highlighted. Okay, if I print this, it will show only 100. So it will not show any decimal point because it has now converted to integer and integer don't have any decimal points. Okay, so let's move back to the this thing. Yeah, we were here. Before we start with the code, we need to know three steps. What is the variable name? What is the data type of the variable? And what is the value stored in the variable? Okay, so assignment. This we have already we have stored some variable already, right? So for you, you can, if you want, you can take this up, store some name or two name and concatenate. So my name is some string that you need to take in store some value in the string to your name, and then you will concatenate and display the value. All right. So converting to string to integer is integer uh, to string. Integer to string is also possible. Integer to sorry string to integer, we have converted from integer to string, right? In the previous case where we have converted to the value, open this thing, yeah, this value we have converted from decimal to string. We can also convert from string to integer, okay, some value, but then in that particular case the value should be in this string type. Let's say the string num2 string, this num2 is of type string. Okay, we can store some value in this 1000, let's say. This value, we can also convert this into the integer value. Integer result is equal to, okay. In this case, we need to convert it into the integer. So integer dot value of is the method to convert a string or like any other data type to integer. So this particular data type, this particular value is stored in num2. I will directly pass this particular num2 in this, and it will convert the numeric value to result. Okay. So it will convert this particular value to integer and it will store it into result variable. And if I want to see this value, I need to print this. Print system dot debug will be printing the value and result is something that I want to print. Okay, or I can append some value. The before this, the integer result is something, and then we need to add a plus symbol or add symbol to concatenate the variable with a string. Okay, this but previous line is string. Okay, integer result is this result is variable. Okay, let's print this. Three lines, only these three lines, execute highlighted. Okay, the integer result is 1000. Integer result is 1000. So whatever value we have stored it in, initially we have stored it in a string data type. This 1000 value was stored in the string data type. Then what we have done, we tried to convert it with the help of integer dot value of method. This is a method. Okay, whatever value we will pass it, if this value is a integer, okay, if this value is or can be converted to an integer, then only this function will work. If let's say if my string is abc 1000, abc will not be transformed into integer, right? So let's see what will be the output in this particular case. Execute highlighted. It is giving me an error. What is the error? System.type exception, invalid integer. So it is understanding like ABC 1000, since it is an alphanumeric, it cannot be an integer. Okay, alphanumeric type of variable value or the string with numeric value together cannot be only of single integer data type, and that is why it is not able to convert it. Okay, and it is throwing us an error. So we cannot convert any string which is having alphanumeric value to an integer. You can only convert it when it is only having purely integer values. Okay, now let's try this with decimal, adding some decimal to it. Execute highlighted. Again, here it is understanding it is not of integer type. It is type of decimal or some different data type, and that is not a valid integer, and it is giving me an error. So it should be purely of integer data type, then only it will be converting it. If it is, let's say, if it is having some 55 decimal 55 value, decimal 55 stored in this num2, I can make this I can make this as decimal dot value of, and this integer result I can make it as decimal. Now, in this particular case, as a human, I will be able to read this value. It is a decimal value for sure. It is stored in the string variable, and this string variable now is of, since the type is of decimal, I'm trying to convert it into decimal. Now, this should not throw an error because it is by default the string is of type decimal, and I'm converting it into the pure decimal type. Okay, that is like with a decimal point and the decimal value after it. And this I want to display. Let's execute this and see if it is working fine. Execute highlighted. It's working fine. It's not giving any error to me. And when I click on this log, you will be able to see the value. Although the integer result it is coming, but it is a decimal result. Okay, since this st value is static here, and that is why this is giving me this integer. The integer result is result. That means whatever value we have stored in this variable. But since we have converted everything into the decimal, so now the result is of decimal type. So this is how you're converting a string to integer, integer to string, and all such functions you will be able to find under like string, a string not value of. So there is a class name as string with all the methods that can be used to convert anything. So in this method, there are multiple methods that can be means that can be operated like on a string. But for now, we will not go into that. it is coming from where I just wanted to show you. So string dot value of, right? String dot value of here. There are multiple methods of string, which is telling you like it can be convert date, it can convert date time to string, it can convert decimal to string, this can convert integer to string, long to string, or some object to string. Okay, date time to string again. So any particular data type of these types can be converted to a string with the help of value of method. The method name is same, but the value which we are passing is getting changed. And system is giving you like what it can take, what it cannot take. Okay. Similarly, integer, there is also a class name as integer. Everything you will be getting under Apex reference guide from where it is coming. So integer also you can search like integer. Similarly, integer is also having a class, integer class, and its method. So integer dot value of here, integer dot value of string to integer. Some string you are passing, and that value you will be converting to a integer value. Okay. So the conversion, the variable assignment, the variable declaration that we have done, and printing those values which after conversion that we have seen in this particular case. Okay. Now let's see what's next. Converting string to integer, integer to string we have done. So what are the most widely used variables and the data types used? So I think this we will take it to tomorrow. Uh, the widely used data type is primitive and non-primitive data types. This will take one session. So for today, if we have you all done the concatenation example of two strings yesterday? No?
No,
Yes?
Ashish.
No, Ashish.
Hello?
No, Ashish, we are not done.
Okay, so what we can do is now we have 10 minutes, right? So what you can do is store the value in the two variables. That is like first variable you should use it like my name is, and the second variable you can use your name, and then concatenate the two string and show the result on the uh, debug log. Getting it? Like the question? Two variables, how you are using, just I'll show you where exactly. Yeah, here in string one, this is string two. Okay. Store your name in the string variable one, and then you will be printing your sorry, store my name is string in the str1, string one. Str2 is your string two. It should be your name. Okay, then you will be printing str, means you need to concatenate this two. So for concatenation, we are using this plus symbol. So your sentence should be like my name is whatever is your name, Ramesh or Vinesh, and it should be coming in the same statement, single statement. Just now we have seen multiplication. Similar to that, you can do this. You can store it in some third variable together and then print that variable, or you can directly print this two in a system debug statement. Directly also possible. Okay, after writing the code, you can paste it in the chat by selecting me. Directly you can share. All of your question is clear? Okay, you can keep posting your questions. Sorry, the code on the chat. Meanwhile, anyone having any questions? No questions, anyone? Okay, I see. Bashir, you joined bit late, right? Today, what time you joined? Around?
Around 8:30 I have joined.
Oh, okay, around 8:30. Okay, then you have missed some part in the beginning.
Yes.
Here, we
I
can
will
go.
go with recording, then I will try to practice.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, Ramesh and Divya, you have shared, and yeah, I see that the code which you have written is correct. Okay, so you now you can keep practicing some more concatenation so that it will give you, because just by one you got the idea, but two to three, if you practice on your own, create your own string, two to three string, and try to mm, convert. One more example that you can practice that as an example. Okay, store one value as a string, another value as an integer, and then try to concatenate both. Okay, you may face some error, but it will give you some learning experience. So one value you will be storing in a string variable, another value you will be storing in an integer variable, and then you will try to concatenate both, and then see if it is taking the values. Okay, and in this case, if it is throwing an error, then try to convert one of the part into the ideal data type so that that string concatenation should work. Okay. So this way you will be able to learn a little bit more about how integer and a string means, is there any possibility to concatenate a string and an integer? Okay, string and string now you know. String and integer you will be learning. Okay. Do it as an assignment, home assignment, and then we'll connect tomorrow. Okay. So yeah, thank you everyone. Nish has shared. Yeah, it's correct. But in this case, have you added a space in between that? Okay, that is a space in between, right? It is coming in a two separate line. Yeah, yeah, it will work. Perfect. Okay. Then, yeah, let's connect tomorrow at the same time, 8 a.m. Okay. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Ashish.
Yeah,
Thank
thank
you.
you.